Hello, Space Junkies, and welcome to episode 170 of What a Piece of Junk, the Star Wars podcast here on the Fandom Podcast Network. I am your agreeable host, Scott Botman, and joining me, as always, is my original podcast co-pilot, Mr. Derek Marsh. Derek, how's it going out there?
It's going great, Scott. Good to see you. Been a while, right?
It has.
And for the listeners, obviously, it's been probably a couple of months. And in that meantime, you guys drove up here. It was good to see you and
Yes.
Matthew and Moody and Mikey, and all that. We got to play a full weekend over Labor Day weekend, which was a lot of fun. So I appreciate you guys coming up. So just finally good as we're getting close to October here, and we'll have some Star Wars stuff to watch and all that. It'll be super exciting to get back on the podcast here, but we do have some trailers to talk about today.
We do, yes. That is the purpose of this recording of this episode, is to get Derek and I to react to the Star Wars The Mandalorian and Grogu trailer alongside Star Wars Visions Volume 3. But we cannot have a reaction show without our very own Dave Filcloni, Mr. Miracle himself, the gooey chewy man of 1,000 nicknames. It's Nathan Miracle. Nathan, welcome back to the Drunken Gungan.
Hey, I don't know what you guys are talking about with it being a long time. It feels like it was just a few minutes for me because y'all put me in carbon freezing. And, well, that's why I now have these glasses, because I'm still suffering from the hibernation sickness. It's not that I went to the doctor and they said, it might be the fact that you're over 40 now.
Yeah, it's not it at all. Also, you don't have that sense of no time has passed, not because you're actually AI, and when we turn you off, no time seems to pass for you. That's definitely not
not it at all.
Uh-huh. Anyways, but yes, we are here to talk about some Star Wars The Mandalorian and Grogu trailer. Guys, I gotta say, with the poster reveal and that logo, Nathan mentioned this in the chat for our group the other day. All I can hear is not late, but the great Tom King saying, Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu.
And if they don't do that, I will be disappointed.
So, right? Yes, yeah. Exactly.
It's Filoni, so how he has his probably number on speed dial, right?
Yeah, the question remains though: would Tom be able to do it at this point in time? I'm worried that
fair enough.
Yeah, I'm worried that if we do get it, we might have the AI voice. Speaking of AI,
but that would be really cool. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyways,
Easter eggs and cameos to tie it into Filoni's background with Star Wars, and what we're getting with that would be just chef's kiss.
To be clear, we are talking about Tom Kane, not Tom.
Yes,
King.
Tom Kane. Tom Kane. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I said Tom King. I got too excited.
Yeah, Tom King, different famous guy. Wrote Mr. Miracle,
not really
among
famous
other
for voice work.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Could be in the future though. Another Tom King. We just haven't identified yet.
Yeah. No, that's my bad. I was looking at Mr. Miracle and thinking of Tom King
as you should. Yeah.
But yes, Tom Kane from Star Wars: The Clone Wars fame, of course, and many other voiceover projects. Okay, so let's talk about the trailer, guys. I don't know if we necessarily want to go scene by scene. You can get a lot of that at other Star Wars podcasts, but really just, let's talk about the things that jumped out at us and what we enjoyed the most. Derek, what was the thing that you took away, the biggest impact for you from the trailer?
Well, this one definitely, because again, I don't know if you guys remember, right? When we had the San Diego Comic-Con, was it Star Wars Celebration, was the leaked trailer that they had out there. I can't remember from.
Pretty sure that was Celebration.
Was it Celebration? Okay.
Japan. Yeah.
But anyways, that one definitely felt more with Din on the cover essentially, or the main focus. This one definitely felt Grogu-esque. In his vocal point. Obviously there's some stuff with Din Djarin going on, some action scenes. We've seen, Zeb, in action, which was great. You see a little bit of the Empire, but this one was more focused on the world of Star Wars. I felt like you had the more alien-esque and all that stuff. And that's what I really appreciate. This, where I feel like it'll be a nice overall movie surrounded in the Star Wars universe. It's not just going to be, he's on a mission. He has to go to an Empire planet this whole time and that's what we're going to get in this movie. It seems like it'll definitely be a continuation from where we left off at the end of season 3. And yeah, just obviously this one was great to see Sigourney Weaver real quick. And then, like I said, you just see all the mannerisms that, are typical with Grogu, being the center of attention with comedy relief. And I was okay with that. Again, it's been a while since we've had, Mando and Grogu on our TV screen. So I'm super excited to get this. And like you said, in the way that ending portrays with the title card, and that the Mandalorian and Grogu, and it just really was, like I said, I'm super excited for this, which is great because it's been a long time since we've had Star Wars on the big screen.
Yeah, definitely years at this point. Nathan, what jumped out at you most from the trailer?
Well, honestly, the thing that jumped out at me the most is probably something that you'll mention. So I'm going to skip that for now and come back to it if you don't mention it.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with the second thing that jumped out to me, and that is Rata the Hutt. The swole Hutt, super muscular. And this is a character that we have seen before, not in live action, though. This is the Hutt that Ahsoka and Anakin save in the Clone Wars, the cartoon movie, not even the series. So it's Stinky the Hutt.
Stinky, all grown up.
Yeah. And I did not know that Hutts could be that muscular. Mm-hmm. But apparently they can. The ones we've seen up to this point have apparently just been lazy slobs.
Lazy slugs. Thank you very much.
Slug. Yeah. Of course, we did know that Jabba gained a lot of weight between A New Hope and Return of the Jedi. But we didn't know that until the 90s because he wasn't in the original recording. That was only added in the special edition. But he was a lot smaller there.
Derek would prefer he be the big, hairy, beefy gangster humanoid guy.
Well, I just the whole scene was weird. So,
here's something I'd like to see us do someday: is compare Episode 1 Jabba the Hutt's circumference to A New Hope circumference to Return of the Jedi circumference.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. He is yo-yoing. He's not Return of the Jedi size in the Phantom Menace, but he's also not as small as he is in A New Hope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, he was trying out some new Ozempic, Star Wars Ozempic in A New Hope.
Sure.
I mean, makes sense, perfect sense to me. Anyways, but yes, it was cool to see a very swole Hutt and him like doing gladiator stuff, like in a big arena.
Yeah, I'm not really clear because we see a couple of other alien creatures that they seem not to be sentient aliens, but just creatures with big, long limbs and scary looking faces. I think those might be Gundarks. I'm not 100% sure. They don't have the ears that you famously pull off. But it could be that those were pulled off in order to tame them. Outside of the ears, they do look like Gundarks because we did see those in the Clone Wars cartoon that was in the series, not in the movie.
And we did see
similar.
We have seen Gundarks as enemies in Star Wars: The Old Republic MMO. You can fight Gundarks on several of the planets, which they look very much like they did in Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
So I'm not sure if they're in the same gladiatorial arena as Rata or not, but it seems like they might be, and it could be the case that they're actually fighting the giant Hutt.
Yeah, that's his display of prowess is to slay the beast.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool. I'd like to see that. I'm intrigued by ostensibly the villain. I mean, I think we're going to assume we're kind of assuming that Stinky is the villain. Maybe he's not. But
he's the gladiator champion.
Oh,
I'm thinking that he's a minor villain. Like he's an obstacle that Mando has to overcome to complete whatever mission he's actually on. But that Rata is not like the mastermind behind it.
Oh, I thought he was there to help Stinky.
Maybe so.
I think there's an assassination attempt on him.
When I say the obstacle that he has to overcome, that doesn't necessarily mean that he has to fight Rata. It could be he has to overcome the obstacle of protecting Rata. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
or Rata has some key information that Mando needs, and he has to
That seems very likely.
convince him to give him the info. And the way to convince him is Rata is like, fight in the arena so that everybody will bet on you, and then take a dive so I make a bunch of money and I'll give you the information you need.
Or I'm not even going to tell you that you're taking dive, but wear this for no reason.
Yeah,
Bzz.
right.
We could already have a plot point too, because you could somehow maybe Boba Fett's missing, and when he goes back, he has to find something with Bib Fortuna, but obviously Bib Fortuna's dead, and Bib Fortuna was linked to Jabba the Hutt. Now we got to go back to Stinky to figure out how
Yeah.
it all connects to find Boba Fett.
I'm not 100% sure that Bib Fortuna is dead, but we'll get into the reasons for that in a minute.
Okay, all right. I also hope that Boba Fett is in this movie, but I'm not 100% sure that he is, because I feel like Tim Morrison has said that he hasn't played Boba Fett again since the Book of Boba Fett, and he's upset about that. But then again, perhaps he's just blowing smoke to throw us off the trail.
Oh, the Jedi mind trick.
Yes, right. It's a Mandalorian mind trick where they point a gun at you and you saw nothing. Okay. Anyways, so the thing that jumped out to me most from the trailer was the return of the Razor Crest, baby. I was so excited to see that silver ship, or at least one very similar to it, cruising along the beach in the scenes in the trailer. Now, this is obviously a different Razor Crest. First of all,
Razor Crest
it
2.
has. Yes, Razor Crest 2. It has those yellow stripes on the top, which the first Razor Crest didn't have. And I'm almost positive that the back of the ship makes it look bigger / different than the one that Mando first had. And we do know from the technical manuals and articles and whatnot out there that the Razor Crest is a class of ship, like a type of ship, not the name of Mando's specific ship back in the day.
Like the fire spray.
Like the Fire Spray. Yeah, Fire Spray is a class of ship that Boba Fett drives. I'm still going to call it Slave One because I'm old and that was its official name. And I miss starships having names in Star Wars, by the way.
Yeah.
It kind of has this isn't just a Boba Fett thing. It's kind of fallen out of favor with the official storylines in the last 5 to 10 years. Like we see Poe Dameron's black and orange X-Wing that it was Black One, but Black One was Poe's call sign. That wasn't like the name of the ship. And then almost the same thing happened with Red 5. You know, they referred to that as Luke's X-Wing, but it wasn't necessarily the name of the starfighter because there was a different Red 5 before Luke that we saw in Star Wars Rogue One.
You only get Millennium Falcon, really.
Yeah, the Falcon, and it's kind of legacy named.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't even think, well, we did have the capital ships have names. So we did have the Finalizer for Kylo Ren's starship, and the Supremacy was Snoke's starship. And then I believe that the ship that they were on in the Last Jedi, that the Rebellion was on, the Resistance was on in the Last Jedi, had a name.
Raddus.
It was the Raddus, which then they back ended a reason why that name was important when they added Admiral Raddus in Rogue One.
Yeah, right. So yeah, it'll be cool to see the Razor Crest back in action, and I wonder if we will end up with a different name for it. Maybe they'll buck the trend that I just complained about, and because it is a freighter, it will have a name. What do you think, Derek?
Oh no, I just think it'll be the Razor Crest too.
Okay. Yeah.
Which
Razor
technically
Crest
would still be a name, so.
It would be. That's true. Yeah. All right. Well, so having seen the trailer now, and we get a little bit more of a feel for how the storyline is going to go. Obviously, Sigourney Weaver's character is going to give Mando and Grogu a task of some kind. And then they're going to have to go out and encounter various resistance, be it stormtroopers or Hutts or whatever, to get in the way of their task. And then Babu Frik and his buddies are going to show up again and help out Grogu and vice versa. So now that we've gotten kind of a skeleton of a story idea, what are you guys looking forward to most about the movie at this point, Nathan?
Not actually knowing the story.
Yeah, that is a cool thing.
So despite having a lot of hints, I don't really know where things are going to go, which is something that I miss in the the saga. I know that we haven't had a saga movie in quite some time at this point, but when The Last Jedi came out, there weren't really a lot of surprises for me because I'm like, well, this is going to rhyme with Empire Strikes Back, and it did, like almost beat for beat, but backwards, because they ended up on the salt planet instead of the ice planet, but they had the chase in the middle, and then when the final saga movie came out, like, well, okay, it's pretty clear they're gonna have Kylo Ren be redeemed. We knew ahead of time that Palpatine was going to be a major figure. Mm-hmm. Somehow he returned. So we kind of knew what was going to happen. And now we don't, because we're kind of in this open territory where the characters, we don't necessarily know that they show up again later. Mando could die.
Yeah. Grogu could too.
Grogu could be captured. Grogu could die. I don't think they're going to kill Grogu because
I don't think
they're not going to kill their cash money.
Right.
But I feel like Grogu brings in more money than Mando does. So
totally.
Yeah, but the Mando's what I mean. Don't get me wrong. You're right, because this could just be The Last of Us Part 2 for all we know. So,
yeah. I mean, if we have adopted dad Pedro Pascal get killed while trying to protect the kid he adopted again. I'm like, come on, Hollywood. Talk about running out of ideas. Now you're just crossing genres.
And it's all Pedro Pascal doing it, too.
It's all Pedro Pascal all the time. Yes.
He's collecting children and then he dies for the children. Is he Jesus
Pedro
Christ?
Pascal?
I don't know.
And then when Mr. Fantastic dies protecting his son in a Marvel movie.
In Doomsday Avengers.
Hold on.
Well, I'm saying you're really running out of ideas. That's also, we're going to have to change his name from Pedro Pascal to Padre Pascal because he's everybody's dad.
And I mean, they're already doing that with the actor that plays Bob from the Thunderbolts. He plays Bob in like 2 other movies already. So
yes,
isn't that
always Bob?
Speaking of that guy, isn't that Bill Pullman's son?
Yes.
Yeah.
And speaking of Bill Pullman, Spaceballs 2 is actually happening, you guys.
Yes.
I don't want to derail us too much, but this is
more money.
This is absolutely Star Wars adjacent. Some people said they liked Spaceballs better than any of the more recent Star Wars films. And hey, that's your opinion, fine. But yes, Spaceballs 2, I can't believe I lived long enough to see this happen. That should be the subtitle.
Let's just hope. Let's just all keep a small prayer, silence, or whatever you want to do, just to make sure Mel Brooks makes it through. So.
Oh gosh,
yes. I saw a
he's
picture.
In his 90s.
He's 98. I saw a picture on Threads yesterday of him suiting up to be yogurt at 98. So he's all like, well, now that I'm an old wise guy, I don't have to have that much makeup.
Just put some gold makeup on him. And
I mean, he was no spring chicken the first time around.
No.
No, I mean, if you think about that, would have been, well, that was 40 years ago, though, to be fair.
Yeah, so he would be 58 then.
But that's not that old, Nathan.
It's not that old.
But it's not what
that young.
I mean, we're all in our 40s, guys. Come on, 58's not that old.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call it young, as Nathan said.
No,
it's
I'm not saying
ancient.
it, but it's not like 98.
It's not like he was 20 when the first one came out.
Right. Anyway, but the rumor I've seen about Spaceballs 2, to bring it back around to Bob and the Mr. Pullman the younger, I can't think of that guy's actual first name.
Neil?
I've seen, is it Neil? Anyways, I've seen a picture, which may have been AI, of him and his dad on set because, his dad is back as Lone Star, and then he's going to apparently play Lone Star Jr. or something along those lines. Maybe they even call him like Lone Star too. But I think that it's really cool. That Lewis, that's it. Lewis, thank you. Your Google foo is strong. And so I think it's going to be cool that they're doing the familial connections in Spaceballs too, because that in and of itself is a Star Wars spoof, is the whole idea about, the next generation continues on what was happening.
He could also play.
So yes. I think it's so cool that they're making a sequel to Spaceballs. I can't figure out what the storyline might be, but I hope it has something, again, to do with some, like, backhanded ecological threat.
Well, to be fair, they've had, like, what, let's see,
Six?
1, 2, 3,
Six
4,
Star
5,
Wars?
6. Well, no, you got Rogue One, you've got Solo.
Yes.
You know, we've got you know, the other stuff that's come out. Plus, we've had since that you've had how many Star Trek movies?
Yeah, I was about to say, because
You've had the
Spaceballs makes fun of
redone
all kinds of
3
stuff.
times, or no, twice relaunched of Planet of the Apes.
I'm going to go with a lot.
Yeah, so,
Yeah. They have that's what I'm saying. My problem of trying to predict the storyline for Spaceballs 2 is too much stuff to pull from, not a paucity.
I guarantee at the end they'll do the whole thing of like Rey and all the Jedi, but it'll be like every sci-fi thing in like the past 40 years.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. That would be great.
So, but
all right, cool. Well, let's see. Final thoughts about the Mando Grogu trailer, and then we'll move on to talk a little bit about Star Wars Visions Volume 3. Derek, what do you got?
Well, I was just going to say what's really cool, too, is obviously with the introduction of Sigourney Weaver's character, we know she's going to basically be replacing Carl Weathers at this point.
Yes.
And now we're going to gap that of why he's no longer in here, right? Because obviously Grief Karga, like they could obviously do something AI. You can do deep fakes and stuff like that. I mean, it's not like Carl Weathers hasn't done enough movies in that older age scene range that, you know, they could pull from. But I don't think they'll do that. I think it'll be something in that interaction of like, well, where's Grief Karga? And then she has to explain that, you know,
I think if anything, they'll have him have passed away in universe, and there'll be like a hologram memorial, or maybe even a statue.
Well, I'm guessing. Well, didn't they have a statue already in the town that they were building, or did the pirates blow that up?
He did have a statue, but
but it wasn't
that statue. Oh no, I'm thinking of IG.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't.
That's IG-11.
It was IG-11. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. That's what it was.
So. That's what I mean. There'll be maybe the IG-11 statue will still be there, and then the Grief Karga statue will be beside it.
And then when Din Djarin dies, there'll be a statue of Mando.
See, you guys keep talking about this, and now I'm all like, "Oh crap, they are going to kill Mando."
Well, that's the whole reason he doesn't show up in the sequels.
See, that's the kind of thing that I'm like, maybe you're right. But then I used to say the same thing about Ahsoka or Sabine, you know, right? And so now Sabine obviously could still get killed. But then when Ahsoka was one of the disembodied voices that Rey heard in Rise of Skywalker, it's not like we saw them as Force ghosts. We just heard them, right? So clearly some of them were dead. But I feel like that doesn't necessarily prove that Ahsoka is dead, even in the Rise
Jude
of
Law wasn't dead, so maybe she pulled from him.
Yeah. Right.
So
anyway, Nathan, final thoughts about the Mando Grogu trailer?
So I mentioned me thinking that Bib Fortuna might not be dead. That was based on the possibility, not that he didn't die, but that I'm not 100% sure when this movie is set. Now, since we have talked more about the Razor Crest, y'all have convinced me that this is a Razor Crest 2. But I was wondering about the possibility of this actually being the original Razor Crest, and this is just set
before he meets up with Boba.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's no reason that we couldn't have a movie set during that time frame. It's not like he didn't do other stuff during that time frame.
But I think that would really confuse people more than
it would. And mentioning that about having the yellow stripes on top does make it seem like it is a totally different ship.
And I feel like Grogu, that the parts of Grogu we've seen in this trailer, he seems to be like the kind of older Grogu.
And
he's grown an inch.
He definitely had the paint guns that we see him use in the training with the Mandalorians, because he hit what I think is a womp rat with that.
I think so. Yeah.
He you might say bullseyed the womp rat.
Hey,
good job, baby. So I'm just so excited with Babu Frik and that. And obviously you see him and obviously the others and Grogu flying with him, and all the ears are flapping in the back in the wind and everything else. I'm still upset he hasn't gotten his own little jetpack though. I'm still waiting for that to happen.
Maybe that'll happen in this movie.
That would be really cool if he finally gets his helmet.
He'll get good enough with the Force that he'll be like, I don't need a jetpack.
He'll be like Yoda.
What is this? The Matrix? What is he?
He'll be like Yoda in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah,
he did that already though.
He did do. Yeah,
the Dark.
He'll just to get more advanced.
So, Anyway,
so my final thought about the Mando Grogu trailer, I loved it. I did ask Joseph, my oldest son, what he thought about it. He did. He said it looks fun. It looks cool. He said, I'm not too sure about the villain. He's like, I don't if it is the Hutt guy. He's like, I don't know how I feel about muscular Hutt guy, but other than that, he said he's looking forward to it. So obviously, we're going to go opening night. And for me, the thing I liked the most about it, besides the Razor Crest, was just seeing Zeb get to kick some butt in live action with his Lasat weaponry and stuff. That was awesome. And I have my dark horse prediction of something that might happen in this movie. Crazy Cara Dune cameo, because this is the era of Disney bringing back people they had previously canceled. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I don't really think that's going to happen. But
I think there's about a 1% chance of that. I'm not going to say zero.
She said she'd be willing to work with Disney.
Yeah, she'd be willing to work with Disney. I'm not sure Disney would be willing to work with her.
I mean, Disney's brought back a lot of people before that have been canceled.
I don't think there's enough fan demand to bring her back to make it worth their effort.
Yeah, that's
financially speaking.
Could be a post-credit scene for all you know.
After credit scene with Cara Dune would be fun as a stealth way, maybe not even stealth, but just a fancy way to relaunch Cara Dune and the Rangers of the New Republic.
Yep.
I mean, stranger things have happened the past 18 days. So,
I was going to say 18 years.
I mean, years too, but also just days.
Oh, that far back. Right. Yeah. Anyways. All right. Well, let's move on to talk about the trailer for Star Wars Visions Volume 3. Guys, I have but one thing to say about the thing that jumped out to me the most about this trailer. Ewoks. I was so excited to see some Ewoks come back, and Ewoks in the that black and white manga style.
The Ronin.
Yeah, for Ronin, right. Yeah.
Yeah. I believe there was a Wookiee there as well.
There was, yeah. So it's all about furry manga. Wait a minute.
Let's not.
This turned really weird, Scott. Have you been hanging out with Joseph and Matthew for too long now? What have they got you watching over there?
Both of those races have fur. I don't know what you guys are talking about. That's all I meant was both of those races have fur.
I meant manga because this doesn't qualify as manga because
that's true. It always, but especially the style of drawing and animation for the Ronin segment always felt like it was somebody took a manga and like brought it to life and animated it because of the black and white, almost newsprint feel of the background. I love it. I think it's so cool.
Okay, when that one lady brings out the lightsabers,
she has the leg of a lightsaber leg.
Well, she does, but I'm talking about when she pulls out like 12 of
lightsaber
them
umbrella.
Once. Yeah. That reminded me of when Ferb in the Phineas and Ferb Star Wars crossover pulls out his lightsaber. It's just like it's got like all these tool attachments on it. I'm like, okay, we have jumped the shark.
Start small too in the Lego ones.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, we have like taken the meme and just thrown it with it. That was the one part that I was like, oh, okay, that like the umbrella was a lot. This is this is insanity.
Yeah. But also, guys, how about ATSTs ripping up out of the snow in part of the trailer? That was kind of cool.
We're going to get a lot of ATSTs in snow in the upcoming because those were also in the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer.
Oh, yeah, you're right. There's that scene of them like falling off the side of the mountain. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's cool because the ATST walker is a iconic piece of Star Wars technology. I mean, you see that and you know immediately, oh, this is Star Wars.
Especially when you see it in the snow, since we first saw them on Hoth, even though they're not limited to ice and snow planets.
Right. Well, we've seen them on Scarif and, of course, on
Crate.
Crate, yep.
Indoor. Yeah, we saw one on Indoor.
Mm-hmm. Tempest 1.
Yep.
Yes. See, even the freaking vehicles have names. Actually, that's probably another example of call sign, to be quite honest.
And that is most definitely an example of Decipher creating something in the 90s.
Scout
for the
1,
card
2,
game.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, all those Tempest names came from the card game.
Yeah, but they're canon now. So,
to be fair, though, Asmodee is using, or AMG, whoever you want to look at, is using that with the Tempest Force
Absolutely.
for the Endor and
Yeah.
Legion. So they are still allowing it to, Disney, with the canon. So
They may have some former Decipher people there. Just saying.
Indeed. Cool. All right. Yeah. So, Derek, what else jumped out to you about the Star Wars Visions Volume 3 trailer? Is there a follow-up piece that you're really looking forward to?
Well, I mean, obviously Ronan, the Ninth Jedi, we talked about, because we are getting that for sure. Definitely. I thought it was going to get its own series, and maybe it still is. Again, we'll see what's going to be interesting. The big one that I'm most interested, though, is the anime. I don't know which story it'll be, but where we're actually seeing like the X-wings, like it's actually going to be a starfighter version. We're getting more of that. Like we've had some of it with starships and stuff, but this looks like a whole Rogue Squadron episode on it, potentially. So, but I will just say this: like the animation looks spectacular. Like it even looks. I mean, obviously it's been maybe 4 years since season 1. At this point, 3 years at the least. I know that. But
season 1 came out in 2021, so 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years. 4 years then. So, but I mean, and obviously, again, I'm a huge Japanese animation fan. A lot of it was beautiful then. Again, we had some of our choices for season 2 with the different styles from the other nationalities across. But going back to its roots again here, I mean, I see a lot of people that typically you can take it for a whim what it is, but social media was a buzz with it, which was really nice to see. So I'm stoked with it. Like I said, I'm wondering how long these are going to be, because some of these looked like more than like some of I think the longest one was Ninth Jedi or something like that, like at 22 minutes. Some of these, like the Ninth Jedi looks like, in the Ronin one, looks like it could be like, I don't know, 40, 45 minutes for each of these. So maybe,
hey, fingers crossed.
Maybe we'll get some long episode stuff on these.
I'm wondering
nice.
Also if it's possible that some of them will be 2 episodes instead of 1, instead of having a longer episode.
I kind of want that to be true.
stories.
Yeah, I kind of want that to be true, but I don't think it will. But 9 stories doesn't mean just 9 episodes.
My fear is that it might mean 9 episodes, and that some of these will be more than 1 episode, and thus we won't truly get 9 in unique stories.
Potentially. If they're all good, though, again, I'll take it.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I'd rather get like 5 or 6 good stories that we get 2 installments of some of them than to have some that are just like, oh,
lackluster.
This is not good.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't say any of the visions have been terrible. There's certainly been ones that I've not cared for as much, but some of that is just, there's so many different styles. Some of them just don't appeal to me. And that is actually a good thing, because Star Wars shouldn't just be for me.
Right.
Yeah, nothing was as divisive as The Last Jedi. You compare visions.
Right, yeah. That is true.
Yeah. Well, Derek did a great job of talking about how one of these visions has all those X-Wings in it. We get kind of almost a Rogue Squadron feel. Definitely a starfighter tale, but this wasn't the only starfighter tale from the galaxy far, far away that was brought up over the past few months. We have an official scene, an official photo released from the upcoming Star Wars Starfighter, another Star Wars movie that I believe is coming out in 2026. Is that when it's scheduled to release, or am I jumping the gun? I don't actually remember. The
2027, it says 2027.
27. Okay. But still, an upcoming Star Wars project that is clearly underway, because they've got a officially released photo, means they've already begun filming at least part of Star Wars Starfighter. So the photograph, just in case anyone hasn't seen it, is of Ryan Gosling's character leaning casually on the controls, or something like it, of some sort of aquatic craft in a very ocean scene with a young boy hanging out on deck with him. I was talking to Joseph about this promo image they released, and he was like, that kid looks like he could be Ryan Gosling's son in real life. So now he's all, I got a serious father-son vibe from the photo, and I'm like, yeah, it's like they went on a fishing trip together, or something along those lines. Derek, what did you think about this photograph? Has it influenced your thoughts about the upcoming movie, or it's just kind of like, okay?
I mean, I guess the one thing is it's good that it's photo that they're actually filming, right? Because we've had a lot of Star Wars projects.
Proof that production has begun.
Yeah, we've had a lot of Star Wars projects that just never even got it past the writer's table, right? So the fact that we actually have it in production, obviously we won't know until we see a trailer because, not saying it'll get canceled, but, always fearful, when you hear it like, oh, we've had 16 gazillion reshoots and other things, or, hopefully there'll be no news between now and whenever it releases in 2027 that they've had, 6 directors leave and, blah, 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 like we had now.
Right.
Again, if that happens, then they need to hire Dallas Bryce Howard, so she could fill in like her father did, and give us a decent movie that she's well deserved at this point that she should get. But overall, I mean, yeah, cool, great. It's production. The only thing I have to say is, again, less kids in Star Wars for me if you're going to take it, but because we've already got one with Mandalorian and Grogu, like I don't give me something adultish again, like Rogue One.
Whole series of kid stuff with Skeleton Crew.
Yeah, that too. Like I'm fine with kids in Star Wars. Don't get me wrong, but give me I don't need kids. Like every Jurassic Park movie at this point has to have some random kids in it for whatever reason, I guess. But anyways.
Well, it's much like with what I said with Visions. Star Wars shouldn't be just for me. Star Wars also shouldn't just be for people who want to see stories about kids and their father figures.
Yeah.
Not that those stories shouldn't be in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that those stories shouldn't be in there, but
it
shouldn't just be that.
Right. Nathan, what did you think of the photo?
So my initial thought, I know you said that you thought it might be Mon Cala, which is certainly a possibility, but my thought was actually Castellan, which is the planet that Star Wars Resistance takes place on, which would make a great setting for a Starfighter series because their whole thing was racing starfighters.
Yeah.
So I was thinking possibly part of the story might be that he's doing that.
Yeah, that would be an interesting twist on this idea. It is called Star Wars Starfighter, and so it could be that at the beginning of the film, that's what he's been up to. Ryan Gosling's character has been up to racing starships in a post-Empire world where there wasn't that much, need for military starfighters, and so they've sort of adapted them like they did in Resistance. I mean, it would be really cool if this was a stealth finisher or coda for that series, because Star Wars Resistance sort of got cut short, in some ways rightfully so. It just wasn't that good.
Wasn't, right.
But finding a way to tie up those stories at the beginning of this film would be an interesting way. And then the complicating incident, or the hero's call, if you will, is when the First Order attacks, or whatever the new particular villain is going to be, and Ryan Gosling's character has to decide if he's going to actually go use his skills as a pilot in combat to stop the evil, or is he going to stay and continue just to be a racer and make money? Yes, Derek.
Here's my deep secret. I'm hoping it's Narkina 5 and they're going to find Kino Loy.
Ooh, that would be crazy. If the timeline is correct, that we've heard pretty much definitively that Ryan Gosling's movie takes place after episode 9, Kino Loy would be pretty old. But then again, also, there's any number of ways for him not to have aged. One, maybe he's not as human as we think he is, and his species ages slower. Two, the Empire did recapture him, but they put him in carbon freeze as a way to punish him. So Ryan Gosling unfreezes him, and he's the same as he was in Endor season 1 or 2 rather, or 3, something other that I can't think of right now.
He's Mel Brooks. He just
smelled
lives to be
He just
98.
lives to be ancient.
He was
and is
58, and then he's
And he just comes out on
98
his
now.
knees
He's
out of the
fine.
island. He's got little shoes on. He's like,
or
"I
better yet,
shrunk."
he is Snoke, and there's a Snoke still hanging around after the First Order has been defeated. There you go.
Hey, it all comes full circle. So
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
we didn't really talk about it too. Just one real quick point. We didn't talk. You guys were you had asked what we think the main story plot could be for the Mando and Grogu. I mean, it's going to be more clones, right? There's
Yeah,
going to be
I
more
think so.
cloning stuff, right? So there's going to be Cantus somewhere.
I think not only that, but it'll be clones of Moff Gideon, of course, because I still have that theory that we saw all those clones of Moff Gideon. I still have the pet theory that the Moff Gideon that died in Mando season 3 was a clone, and the real Moff Gideon is still somewhere out there. So
I agree with this theory.
yeah. Well, if any of those things happen or something else that we couldn't think of, you can be sure that we will discuss it ad infinitum here on What a Piece of Junk. But before we sign off, we'll do Derek's favorite part of the show, and that is, of course, what Star Wars shirt are you wearing this week? And I will go first. I have the very appropriate for this episode Star Wars Grogu shirt. Yay, Grogu!
Good job, baby.
Yes, good job, baby. I'm always happy, hey, with Grogu being on any merch, but especially
magic hands.
You got the big magic hand. All right, Derek, what do you got?
Not a shirt. So last Sunday was Christina and I's 12th anniversary.
Yay, congrats.
So thank you. And so Christina got me this cute she used AI, but she had to work on it like a lot because she had to obviously have it do all the drawing for her, but she spent quite a few hours, she told me, trying to work it. So but this is what she did for our family photo.
Oh, cute.
Oh, very nice.
She was a little
That's
pissed off though
awesome.
that it gave her the red lightsaber.
Hey, listen, the Force shows you your true self. That's all we can say. I'm kidding, Christina. We love you. You're great.
So, but anyways, so that's what I got for my anniversary present. So there you
That's
go. For the
excellent.
listeners, it's an AI photo, family photo of me, Christina, and Sophia as Jedi, or maybe
Yeah,
Jedi
that's-
Sith, or whatever you want to call it. So,
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
the balance
Right,
of the Force.
That's right. Nathan, what do you got?
Well, I am wearing a Star Wars t-shirt today, but it's one that you guys have seen before if you've watched the show for any length of time. So instead, I will talk about these glasses. Now, the ones I'm wearing right now are clear, but now they are Chewbacca glasses.
They're Wookiee glasses. Wookiee
They are
spectacles.
specifically Chewbacca. It's got the bandolier and everything.
Can
Oh,
you
that's-
can you take them off and put them closer to your camera?
Yep. See,
Oh, I see the bandolier.
Oh,
The
that's
top-
cool. Yes, I
top
see it there, right there.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
That is excellent.
yeah. So
And I do love the whole frames with the replaceable switch out frame.
Magnets.
That's
I've gotten several. I'm kind of addicted to getting them now, so I have to be careful that I don't spend a bajillion dollars because I also have a Batman one. I've got a regular tortoiseshell one that I can wear when I'm, trying not to
Turtle.
be
I'm
super
trying to
dirty.
appear normal. Although we all know that you got the tortoiseshell one because of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, as Derek
Well,
just did.
yes.
Yeah.
Also, the bad guys in Mario Brothers are turtles. So
Oh, I thought he was trying to do Dana Carvey in the International Spy movie, whatever it was. Where
Am
he's
I,
like,
am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club? Yeah.
But
Gosh,
then
that's a deep cut there, Derek. Good Lord. Master of Disguise. The name of that film
Yeah.
is Master of Disguise.
and that way
That's
he's
right.
wearing his glasses like Clark Kent.
but I've also got one that is sunglasses, so I can actually put two on at once and have sunglasses. And then, of course, I have an orange one and a white one, so that regardless of whether Tennessee is playing at home or away, I can support my football team, even when they give me a heart attack and have to win it in overtime like they did yesterday.
You
Oh
and
my
Ryan
gosh.
both.
Good job.
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
But
if you guys out there want to have your own Star Wars What a Piece of Junk t-shirt or mouse pad or iPad case or coffee mug or any of that cool merchandise, you can find our store over on tpublic.com. Just search up Fandom Podcast Network in the search bar and you'll find stuff for our show and all the other great shows here on the FPN. And please, between shows, hit us up and let us know on social media what we can do to make the show better, And if you have the time, give us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast reviewing service. Every little bit of attention helps make our show better and makes it to where we can keep doing the show to share with the rest of you guys. But until next time, we want to thank you all for joining us. And please always remember to respect each other and always respect each other's fandom. All right, Nathan, change glasses and punch it.